politics was always part of life, even growing up. On the other hand, I've never been a member of a political party. I've been in journalism now for over 30 odd years, and I don't regard it as compatible to be a party member and a journalist. Even if you happen to support a certain politician at a certain time, there's always going to be a moment when you're going to say, I don't agree with this. For me personally, there was also a coincidence, and it's purely personal and it's historic as opposed to contemporary, is that in my family, my great-grandfather's brother was a chap called James Connolly, the Irish nationalist who was executed in 1916. But Connolly, if you read his work, tries to explain the point about nationalism and internationalism. And it began to strike me again in the 80s, what was true of his Ireland, why wasn't it true of my Scotland? I don't mean the violence, I'm not talking about armed uprisings, I'm talking about the logic of the argument of self-determination. So there was that personal part. It was Robert Louis Stevenson who said that it was a Scottish accent of mind, and he meant kind of intellectual. He didn't mean speech as such, but he meant it was a kind of Scottish cast of mind that comes from philosophical traditions, it comes from poetry, it comes from attitudes towards law and justice, and a lot of Scottish bigotry and small-mindedness too. Let's not kid ourselves that, the identity gives you virtue. It doesn't. It also gives you a lot of baggage you wouldn't necessarily want, and we've got plenty in Scotland. But it all adds up to something that's distinct, and the distinctiveness is where you proceed from.